Hello, Chef here. Since Fortnite's release, there has been many mysteries surrounding the game. Famous examples include who's the visitor and why did he come to the island, what are the underground bunkers scattered around the map, where did Kevin the Cube come from. Most of these mysteries have been solved by now from Fortnite themselves, but there are still a few mysteries that have never been solved and are still up in the air to this day, so join me as I look at 5 unsolved Fortnite mysteries. In number 5, we have something you probably forgot existed, the Abductor games from Chapter 2 Season 7. A couple of weeks after Chapter 2 Season 7 launched, in one of the updates we got abductors that would fly over a location, and if you were underneath the abduction area, you'd get taken inside of the mothership itself, where you would play a minigame. In this minigame you jumped around getting vault orbs and timer coins, and at the end, depending on how many vault orbs you got, you would have got some corresponding loot to go alongside it. However, the strangest part of the abductor minigame was that there were floating chunks of our locations from Fortnite's past. I at the time thought that in the Season 7 trailer, the mothership actually got the 0 point, and the reason that the abductor minigame existed was because they were tinkering with the 0 point to see how it worked, and in the process these excess chunks came out of the 0 point alongside a variety of weapons as well. And to get on our side, they created this minigame giving us free loot each time, so we could trust the aliens more. But that theory was thrown out of the window after I watched a video explaining that the 0 point went back to the bridge when the spire exploded, which you can actually see if you slow down the trailer enough. And this is still a mystery to this day. Where did the last reality get all these random bits of locations from? I still have no theory on this after my last one was proven wrong. In number 4, we have another thing relating to the last reality. So at the start of Chapter 2 Season 8, the mothership was destroyed and was sat in the ocean decaying away. When the map flipped over revealing the Chapter 3 map, it was nowhere to be seen. And as you can see on this image, because the entire map flipped over, including the water on both islands, it isn't there. So what happened to the mothership? My personal theory is that it either got pushed over by the giant tsunami and is laying flat at the bottom of the ocean, or in the event, the last reality took it away, and looking back at this image, it isn't on the Chapter 2 map either. In number 3, we have something that's been going on for about 3 years now. In Chapter 1 Season 7, an iceberg crashed into the island, bringing along a brand new snow biome, one like we've never seen before, alongside a location called Polar Peak, where the Ice King resided. Week by week, the snow covering Polar Peak dropped, revealing more rooms inside the castle. And inside one of the lower rooms, there was a table, and surrounding were chairs, each engraved with a symbol. 2 of which we know who they belong to, the Ice and Fire King, but the rest, we don't exactly know who owns them. There has been speculation one of the chairs belongs to a member of the last reality, maybe the Origin when he was the Cube King, or the Cube Queen, but the rest of the members of this table, what people have named the Elementals, are unknown. And the reason this entire mystery is resurfaced is because of the mysterious entity at the end of the Chapter 3 Season 3 trailer, who could possibly be this skin from a recent survey and be connected to the Elementals in some way. And I do have a feeling we haven't seen the last of the Fire and Ice King, especially with it being revealed the iceberg from Chapter 1 came from the same ice moon we were on in the collision event. In number 2, we have a mystery that has been going on since Chapter 1 Season 4. So you know how the storyline started off with the visitor crashing into Dusty Depot and making a rocket and creating a sideways rift? Well, when the visitor first crashed at Dusty Depot, an organisation set up a base of operations around the meteor to monitor it and whatnot. And their symbol was this, keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that the Hazard Agent and Toxic Trooper were stationed here, and these are definitely members of the organisation, because of their striking resemblance to the organisation's logo's colours, and just look at their suits. Then fast forward a little bit to Chapter 1 Season 8, where this organisation, now nicknamed by most Fortnite players, the government, have arrived at Loot Lake, and have started digging up the area and other places around the map, week by week, until they discover the vault, which then they cease operations. A season later, the mech starts to get built, and in this loading screen, we can see Singularity looking at the mech, alongside the before mentioned Toxic Trooper and Hazard Agent skins, making the connection here that the government helped build the mecha team leader. Chapter 2 happens, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they only show up to update Risky Reels for the Star Wars event, and then they aren't mentioned until Chapter 2 Season 7.
I have an urgent update on the beach party. Someone is watching us. Maybe the government, maybe the IO, I don't know what they're planning. So stay sharp.
Now what I'm going to say next is a theory I came up with. Who knows if Mario was talking about the government I'm talking about, or was making a joke about the government, I don't know. But I'm going with the one what I was talking about. So this clip shows that this government is separate from the imagined order. Then they resurfaced in Chapter 3 Season 1 as the Frosty Fields defrosted, revealing Tilted and the Devourer skeleton, and the government was there. And they are also at Tilted currently in Chapter 3 Season 3, helping rebuild the place. And 4 years on, the question still stands, who are this government, and what are they doing on the island? And finally, in number 1, we have another mystery to do with an organisation, and that is the mystery of Ghost and Shadow. When Chapter 2 Season 1 started, we were introduced to a new team of characters as part of an organisation called Ego. Whoever sent these individuals was sent for a reason, and I believe they were sent to survey the new island, for either the Imagined Order or the Seven. While on their travels on the island, they encountered some people, a concept we know today as snapshots, and it surprises me that no one has spoke about how the members of Alta are snapshots of Ego. Anyway, these snapshots were the direct opposite of Ego, who looked to be good-natured people. These were evil, and that's why the edit style name is called the Alter Ego styles, because these are the alter egos of the members of this team. And every time a member of Ego saw their snapshot, it always ended up in a fight between the two. And in the meantime when this was going on, someone started to hire loopers on the island to report what they were seeing, and one of these people was Bushranger, who can be seen in the 8-ball vs Scratch loading screen watching them fight. And this is where it gets a bit weird. So the next season starts and this previous organisation disappeared off the island and was replaced by 2 other organisations that bear the same logo as Ego and Alta, and they aren't Ego and Alta, now they are Ghost and Shadow. Now it is assumed that Ego and Alta are branches of Ghost and Shadow, and then throughout the rest of Chapter 2, more questions appeared. Who is Midas and what does he want? What is the canon reason behind the name change of Alta and Ego? Why is Lynx associated with Midas? Was Midas an Imagined Order agent who retracted from the AO and formed his own organisation? What exactly was meant by I don't think that the Midas that returned is the same Midas? Where did Ghost and Shadow go after Chapter 2 Season 3? What is Oro's and Raph's connection to Midas? What happened to Ego and Alta? Why did the first Shadow cinematic get taken down? There are many more questions like the rest on this list that have gone unanswered. If these will ever get explained to us is something we'll have to wait for. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a quite fun time putting this together, and stay tuned for the next couple of Fortnite related videos in this summer event. But that's all for now, and see ya.